Hey guys and girls, welcome to a blistering hot, I'm talking about smoking hot Sunday afternoon in southern Oklahoma. 107 degrees, that's right, and we've only been out of church for an hour and a half or 2 hours or so. I mean, we haven't been out of church long, and it's 107 degrees. And really and truly, this time of the year, the hottest time is going to be about 5 o'clock. So it's really a couple, 2 or 3 hours from now before we get to the hottest time of the day. But 107 degrees. Think about that. Now, this is the second 107 degree day that we've had this week. We had another day that was 107 degrees, which is Thursday, and I went fishing. And I want to tell you about that. Don't let me forget to tell you about that fishing trip when I get through with this Sunday afternoon chat, because it's pretty remarkable when you stop and think about it. I mean, pretty doggone remarkable. But we've had a great week this week. We did get to go fishing one day. You know, I looked back at my calendar. It's the first time I'd gone fishing here since July the 4th. July the 4th since I'd been. So, man, that's just absolutely horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to even admit that to you, really. But that's exactly what it was. I looked at calendar and saw it. But we'll tell you what happened during that fishing day, because it's pretty fantastic, really. And actually what happened is my buddy from Alabama, Larry Rinkin, just got at the Legends of the Outdoors ceremonies yesterday, which Chris and I was at yesterday in Hot Springs, along with my daughter Sherry. We were there Friday night for a big mixer, kind of a meet and greet, with just a lot of the legends out the door together, just to get visiting with each other, and a real nice evening there. And then we had the big awards banquet yesterday afternoon, where we inducted about another half a dozen people into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. Chris and I have been in that Hall of Fame for many years. I think both of us went into the same year. I don't even remember the year of it, but it was about 10 or 12 years ago, 2012 or 10 or something. But quite a few years ago. It's a tremendous honor, and it's just honoring folks in the outdoors, not just fishermen. We're in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. Chris was the first woman ever put in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, and so both of us are in that Hall of Fame. But this is the Legends of the Outdoors: fishermen, hunters, photographers, outdoor writers, people that are really legends that have made the outdoors what it has here in the United States over the history of our country. And it's just an absolutely incredible Hall of Fame. But Larry Rinkin, who actually got the Sportsman of the Year award, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but Larry Rinkin called, and he had a couple of buddies of his, Jim Shelton and his son Austin, who just is in the National Guard, just got through with his basic, signed up for 5 years in the National Guard. Very proud of that. But they live up in Arkansas City, Kansas, which is just across the Kansas line, barely out of Oklahoma, kind of lap country. We call that where Oklahoma laps over into Kansas. But anyway, Benelli quit, and Benelli trying to knock my tripod over there. So move around just a little bit here. May have to rebalance this thing, get it level again. She likes to lay underneath that thing for some reason. I don't know what the deal is, but she likes to lay underneath that. And then she gets to playing. She had a stick under there. The lake is just looking bad down there, and you can tell you did it just right. That looks pretty nice, don't it? Oh, this looks pretty nice. Pat Turner, guy that runs my production customer, he's going, "Oh my God, Jimmy, I'm glad you don't do that for a living." Well, I did it for a living, Pat. I'd be broke. There's no doubt about it. But that's pretty though behind me. That's right there. It's not quite level, but that's pretty. Enough. Level it up, it might be a bit ugly again. Look at that. Just the way you move that thing around, and the way that camera is, it takes all the prettiness out of it. But anyway, I got it right now. But anyway, they're big fans of the show, and they love to fish, and particularly Austin. Like I said, he's about 25 years old, and he loves to fish. And so Larry asked if a possibility of us taking him fishing, and I said, yeah, if you get down here early, we need to get out there on the water at daylight, and then we'll fish till 10 or 11 o'clock until the heat gets, because this oppressive heat is way over 110, 112, 115 degrees heat index. So it's not just 107 degrees. The heat index is much higher than that. But at any rate, they did come down, and we'll talk about that fishing trip before we end here. I wanted to talk just a little bit about that Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame, because it's just absolutely fantastic. They introduced some of the people that put in there were really good friends of mine. My really good friend Bill Jordyn, and another Catherine Fennell, who's the CEO of Major League Fishing, and was CEO of FLW, and then moved over and is running Major League Fishing now. incredibly beautiful woman, and just such a great, soft, sweet personality about her, and just all the fishermen just love her to death, and I'm right in that category. I love her to death too. And extremely good friend of Chris and ours, and just calls and talks to us. Even though I quit fishing tournaments 3 or 4 years back, she still calls and talks to us a lot. And we're actually going to be with the bass. The BAS is not bass, but the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. We're going to be over there at the Wow Museum in Springfield next month. Next month or October, it might be October. But anyway, we're going to be over there next month, and they've got Chris and I have never got our blue jackets, and so she's going to actually wants to present Chris her blue jacket, which is just going to be special to her to be able to do that, and even more special to Chris to have a good friend and somebody of the stature of Kathy Fennell presenting that to us. So that's really good. But anyway, Bill Jordyn, Will Primos, several. I mean, great people. Great people that was inducted into that Hall of Fame, and it was just an amazing event. We had over 400 people there at that event yesterday, and it was supposed to be over around 2:30, actually over around 3:30 or 4 o'clock, so it was about midnight before we got back to the ranch. But I just want to say one thing about that, because I was so impressed, because the theme, and we hear a lot here in the United States about attacks on Christianity, and they're real. We do have a lot of attacks on Christianity, particularly by political parties. We have a big attack on a family. We've got attacks on the family. We've got people celebrating vasectomies and celebrating abortion, not just abortion because they can't feed a baby or something, but celebrating the fact that they're killing babies, and celebrating abortion and celebrating vasectomies and giving on-demand abortions and on-demand vasectomies and stuff like this, which if there's anything any more anti-family than that, I wouldn't know what it was. I wouldn't know what in the world it is, unless you get fined or something when you buy a marriage license, or they raise a marriage license to $100,000 or something like that. None of us could afford to get married when we did anyhow, just about. But I know I couldn't afford to get married when I did, but we did anyway. But there's a huge attack on the family. There's a huge attack on Christianity in this country. But can I tell you, when those individuals, Bill Jordyn, Will Primos, Kathy Fennell, when those individuals got up there and accepted their award, and the others as well, as a matter of fact. I mean, there was about a half a dozen, and when they got up there and accepted their award as being inducted into the Legends of the Outdoor Hall of Fames, almost 100% talked about family and talked about God. They professed their faith openly in front of a crowd of 400 people. Now, these are outdoorsmen. These are hunters and fishermen. They're family-type people mostly, and they're godly-type people mostly. Not all, but mostly. So you don't get in too much trouble doing that. But these are individuals that you could tell just from the way they profess their faith, and they profess the importance of family. My buddy Larry Rinkin, I mentioned, the first thing he got up, he talked about the little things that he remembers in his fishing and hunting career. They all involved his wife, his son, and his daughter, just exactly like what I do when I talk to people about some of the most precious things. My favorite memories is doing what we've done for a living and being on television for 48 years and fishing national tournaments for 54 years. All of the really precious things, all of the most important things involved Sherry and Jamie, Chris, and they involve my God. They involve Jesus. They involve the things that are the most. Those are the most important things to me. Not winning tournaments, not winning BASS Angler of the Year titles, not winning tons of money, not any of that kind of stuff. None of that is. All that is just kind of what came with the game. But the time and the effort and the things that we spent with my wife and my kids, and the focus that I have in my life and have had for years and years and years on my God. The Jesus that hung on the cross to pay for my sins so I could be a child of God, so God could be my Heavenly Father. Those men and women, a couple women in there, those women in there, they do the same thing. They praise God. They praise God. They praise God. It's person after person after person. I think it was 5 or 6 people put in the Hall of Fame, and they just one right after another praise God and praise their family. Talked about their family, and most of them people like Will Primos and Bill Jordyn, who's run very successful companies. A couple other guys in there that had run very successful companies, and of course Kathy that runs very successful tournament organizations. A couple of them. They're not only icons in the industry. They're very, very good very, very good business people. And they talked about the family of their company, the family, their people that's in their company, their employees, their field testers out there, their pro staff out in the woods, of all being family. So in other words, it was just amazing to me. And it tells you one thing. It tells you one thing, that if you want to be super successful in whatever you are trying to be super successful at, I don't care what it is, fishing, hunting, run a car dealership, being a school teacher, being a preacher, whatever it was, if you want to be really super successful and be at the top and the elite one, up in the top, 1/10 of 1% of the people that's ever done whatever you're doing for a living, your main focus needs to be on God and family. Family and God. That's it right there. Because when I said it at places like that and listen to successful people talk, that's what they talk about. They don't talk about their fantastic college education. They don't talk about their fantastic intellect, or they talk about family. They talk about God. So it's very, very important. I just want to point that out, that if you want success in whatever you're doing for a living, family and God. Family and God, family and God. Put those first. And, you're going to have success in life. Absolutely no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I want to tell you about that fishing real quick before I close here. Now I want to tell you where we're going to be here in the next couple 2 or 3 weeks. We got 2 or 3 more appearances. We've always got personal appearances coming up, it seems like. We're only doing about 50 or 60 personal appearances a year now. We were doing about 130, and we cut that back in half, of just about is what we've done. But we're still doing a lot of personal appearances, still going all over the country and meeting with y'all out there all over the country. We've got some personal appearances coming up this coming weekend. Saturday, which I think is what is that Saturday? Is that the 21st? Is that what it is? 24th, something like that? Maybe it's the 24th. Today's the 18th. That'd probably be the 24th, wouldn't it? Because next Sunday will be the 25th. This coming Saturday, I'll be over in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's right. Chris will be with me. So those of y'all that haven't seen Chris and y'all been praying for her and haven't had a chance to give her a hug, she just loves that to death, and she's just doing so good. Chris is going to be with me. My daughter Sherry and her husband Dr. Jack is going to be there. So any of you have some heart palpitations while you get there, he can massage your heart or whatever he might do. No, he won't do all that stuff. He won't. I'm saying that, but he won't do it. But Jack will be there. Jack and Sherry's going to be there, and they're having a big baseball weekend over there, a big baseball day on Saturday. And I don't know really what they call that, but they have that every year over there in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's a fantastic. It's for the public, and they bring in some great legendary baseball players. And this year they got an Okie in there. They got Johnny Bench, my buddy Johnny Bench. I've known Johnny for years and years and years. Johnny Bench right here from Oklahoma. They got Robin Yount coming in there. Ted Simmons, a great catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. They got Al Roboski. They called him the Mad Hungarian. He's a relief pitcher, and he was a good one. Al Roboski. Goose Gossage in there, and I think Tom Pagnozzi. Now, I'm not sure if I've got all those exactly correct. I think that's who all's coming, though. And so we're going to be over there Saturday in Hot Springs. We're going to be a minor part of that event. That's a baseball event. But because we've got friends over there in the Chamber of Commerce and stuff, and they know I'm a baseball fan, and they've invited me over there to be a part of that. So if you're into fishing, you're not into baseball, come on out there to that event. They've got various things going on. It's going to be a wonderful event. I don't know much about the exact details, but I know it's next Saturday, and I think it's August 24th, Saturday, August 24th. During the middle of the day, it'll be all day long, I guess, on that Saturday. So it's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it. The only one of those players that I personally know, and I know a lot of Major League Baseball players, is Johnny Bench. I'm looking forward to seeing Johnny again. But I'm looking forward to meeting Robin Yount, Ted Simmons, and Al Roboski, Goose Gossage, Tom Pagnozzi. It's going to be nice to meet those guys. And baseball players have fascinating stories. Just fishermen, we have great stories, but baseball players have great stories as well, too, because a lot of the things that they tell stories about are things that we've watched on television. Well, I guess that's true about fishermen, too, come to think about it. But anyway, so we'll be in Hot Springs this coming Saturday. That's the only appearance I think I got for the rest of this month. This month's getting close to being over already. When we get to there, we'll only have a week left, and we'll start playing football before that. Oklahoma opens their football season up on a Friday night. I don't know, can't remember. I think we might have done that one time before. We open our football season up on Friday night. Good luck to all you football fans out there. Everybody's got a certain college that they're either root for or they attended, and if they attended there, they sure root for. Mine happens to be Oklahoma University. But so we're Sooners all the way. Baseball, football, basketball, softball. All the sports. We follow all of them. We're friends with a lot of the coaches, friends with a lot of the players, and so we can't wait for the football season to get started. And that's going to start on the last Friday of the month. We will be at Baumgar's in Ada, Oklahoma. We've done some Baumgar stores here in Oklahoma. Baumgar's, which is the old Orchland store, it's a grand reopening in Ada, Oklahoma on Friday the 13th. That's right, in September, Friday the 13th. And it'll probably be there, I don't know the exact hours, but I'm guessing usually we're there about 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. My guess is we're probably going to be there from about noon to 6 or something like that, so we'll get a chance for that. You can drive by there and say hi or something after work, or get some of the great buys they have. Baumgar's has really, really good buys. I bought a swing set that we got on the front deck out here, beautiful swing set, and they had an incredible price on it during that grand opening. So that'll be one of the best places to get some really, really good buys. Because they'll have everything on sale. Everything will be on sale. And it's Baumgar's at on Friday the 13th in Ada, Oklahoma. Ada, Oklahoma. The next morning I'll be flying down to Atlanta. And I'll be in Newnan, Georgia, at the Church of God on a big Saturday afternoon deal. I think it starts around 2:30 and probably go for I don't know, it'll go until it quits, I guess. But I think it starts at 2:30 in the afternoon. Not positive of that. Check with the Church of God, Newnan, Georgia. I will be there on Saturday. That will be September 14th. Saturday, Sep 14th. So that's some places where I'll be going up here pretty quick. We are already past the half of this month, so we're not very far until the first of next month, which we're already talking about appearances in September. If you're not getting the Jimmy Houston Outdoors newsletter, it's absolutely free, doesn't cost a penny. Be sure and sign up for that. Go to jimmyhouston.com, and all you need to do is just give us your email address. We will email you that newsletter on the first of every month. So it's not long till September 1st, opening day of dove season, by the way, too. But September 1, it's just right around the corner. Go in there and you give us your email address, and we will send you that newsletter every month on the first of the month. The newsletter has got lots and lots and lots of great information, fishing tips and cooking tips, coupons, ways to save money on various products, and everything that's in that newsletter allows you to link back to various sponsors that we have. And so we'll probably have something in this next newsletter about Humisoil, about the Humisoil products and what we're testing in that. And the test with the tomato plants is just nothing short of remarkable. And we planted those tomato plants. We did a 1 week and a 2 week. And come Tuesday, it'll be 3 weeks since we planted those. I think that's add up right. It'll be 3 weeks, and I'll show you the difference in the tomato plants in Humisoil and not. But we might have something in there about the Humisoil also, where you can link over and get a little more information about that. If you plant a garden, or if you have a yard, or you have flowers in your house, or anything, if you're a farmer, if you plow 1,000 acres and grow soybeans or corn or anything, you need to get involved with Humisoil, because it's basically a miracle type product. It will change the world. We're doing a lot of testing here on Twin Eagle Ranch with it, and we'll be having more and more. We'll probably be even having some deals where maybe you have a sales coupon show up in that newsletter where you can get a little discount. Go down to your local Farm and Fleet store or Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever store where you buy that stuff, Walmart. And we even have some deer plot product that you'll be able to buy at Bass Pro and Cabela's. So, but that newsletter has lots and lots of good stuff in it. And the good thing about it, you can read it, delete it. You can read it and go in there and go through the various sponsors and check on various things they have in there. They have some sales going or some things where you can get a bargain on something. You can you can do that. But and then when you get through, just delete it off there so it doesn't take up any space, and it's just a really good situation on that. That's the appearances I got coming up in the next couple of weeks. I do want to tell you about the fishing trip. That's right. I want to tell you a little bit about that fishing trip. I'm going to move this thing around a little bit. Okay, I'm trying to get where I can get a little bit of breeze. It's 107 degrees out here. It's 107 degrees out here, and the heat index is probably another 8 or 10 degrees higher than that. It's amazing. But I want to tell you a little bit about the fishing trip, because we fished Thursday. Like I said, Larry Rankin, he had to quit at 10 o'clock and leave, and I think by the time he left at 10 o'clock, we went out at daylight now, which is a little bit before 7 o'clock. Went out at daylight, and we had caught 69 fish. That's right. We had 2 boats. Jim was fishing with Larry, and Austin was fishing with me. We had 69 fish combined with the 2 boats when he left at 10 o'clock. And then Jim got over in the boat with us, and Jim basically just kind of shot pictures and shot video of Austin and I catching fish. He did catch 1 or 2, and we fished until 12:30, so we fished another 2.5 hours. It made it to 107 degrees that day. 107 degrees. Guess how many fish we caught? Yeah, that's right. 107. Some of you guessed it, didn't you? 107 fish. Now, they weren't all bass. Well, I did catch one crappie and one bluegill. So we caught 105 bass, one crappie, one bluegill. 107 fish. Now, here's the deal, and here's the way this is kind of important. I'm not really bragging about how many fish we caught, but that's a lot to catch any day, let alone a 100-degree plus day with a heat index probably 8 or 10 degrees higher than that. But we started out chasing the shade in the morning. A very important thing to do this time of the year, chase the shade. If you're fishing a mountain-type lake, like Lake 10 Killer is a mountain-type lake, a Lake of the Ozarks, Bull Shoals, Beaver Lake, Table Rock, those are all, Ouachita Lake, all mountain-type lakes, so they have a lot of shade early in the morning. When you start out early in the morning, get out there to top water spinner baits, swim baits. We caught a lot on a swim bait, little Lucky Swim on a jig head. I caught a lot of them on a Redmond spinner bait. And we caught some fairly decent fish in the morning, maybe some 3 or 4 pounders, but a lot of them were small fish. But we chased the shade. We chased the shade, chased the shade, chased the shade. Well, once you get up about 10 o'clock or so, shade's pretty much gone. So then you're kind of on your own with fishing and not being able to have any more shade. But chase that shade early in the morning. After that, the thermocline, it's really important to look on your locator and see where that thermocline is this time of the year. Thermocline was at 14 feet. So that means you do not want to fish any deeper than 14 feet. So we switched to Texas rig worms. I was using a Lucky Lizard, and I was using a Lucky Strike Sneaky Snake, and I caught most of them on a lizard. But we used also a Lucky Salt, a little Lucky Salt, a little sinking worm. But not wacky rigged or Texas rigged. It was Texas rigged, but with a slip sinker, not weightless, with a slip sinker. Used a 3/16 ounce slip sinker, fishing on the edge of grass, points, around brush, anything we could see something on the locator down in deep water, we'd throw around it, and we were looking mainly trying to concentrate on things in the water, underneath the water, that cast a shadow down near the bottom, like a stump or a brush pile or rocks or something like that. And we'd fish the shady side still, even though in the middle of the day. And we ran it from 69 up to 107 from 10 o'clock up till 12:30 when we quit. And it was so hot when we quit at 12:30, it was unbelievable. But we caught 107 fish on a day when it got to be 107 degrees. So that's just pretty remarkable. And by the way, we caught some 5-pounders when we got down there without a worm. In fact, right out in front of the house here, I had one break my line. That's right, break my line. And it just, I don't know how big it was. It's just pulling like crazy. And I hadn't retied in a while, but still broke my line. And then I caught another one about 15 minutes after that. And these were both around noon, around lunchtime. About 15 minutes after that weighed over 7 pounds, the largest fish that we caught all day. So we had 2 big ones right around closing time. Now, had we been able to stand it, we could have probably stayed out there and keep catching fish. The bite was slowing down as the temperature got hotter. And the water temperature kept easing up as well. It was about 5 degrees warmer when we quit than it was when we started. So go early, go late. I usually say go early and stay late. Go early, go late. Go early, chase that shade. And then once that bite begins to slow down a little bit, or you quit catching quality fish, you're catching small fish, then go down and fish right above that thermocline, Guys and girls, be sure and get on that newsletter. I will see you in Ada, Oklahoma, or Hot Springs, Arkansas, or Newnan, Georgia. That's the places I'll be coming up here real soon. So looking forward to visiting with you. Y'all have a great week out there. If you live in the South on this big heat wave, it's not long until this thing's going to be over. Once we get another week or two here, the temperatures are going to start coming down. We're going to start having those little cool fronts run through. And pretty soon you'll turn around about 3 or 4 times, and it'll be September 15th. And it'll be nice, very nice. And we'll be out there just smoking them, just catching fish like crazy. Have a great week out there. I love you. Make sure that you fish lucky. And remember, I sure do love you.